Okay, so I'm not now going to turn it to you because who gets asked the questions? I don't get asked all the questions, you do. So what are the most common questions coming from foreigners? And what would be something that, from your experience, would be your recommendation?
Well, one of the biggest questions I get asked a lot is my Bitcoin safe? And what do we do to protect it? What happens if something happens to the bank? Is the people you work with safe? Who controls that in the bank?
Yeah.
A lot of safety questions I get. And the first thing I tell them is, I have my Bitcoin here. Right, so
That speaks for itself.
all right, I'm not building something to put my Bitcoin at risk. The owners have their Bitcoin here. All the employees have their Bitcoin here in the bank, and all their assets. And we don't play with safety. Right? Very little people have access to the assets. I myself don't have access to them. It requires more than one person. Not everybody's here. Like, I've taken very large precaution of how we store that. We use a trusted provider in the United States. It's a public company. It's a trust. So at the end of the day, the Bitcoin that they custody for us are off their books. So it's bankruptcy-remote. And in the case of the bank, we also use a trust, our own trust. So it's also bankruptcy-remote. If something were to happen to the bank, your Bitcoin is stored in the trust under your name. So it cannot be sequestered. It cannot be used. The bank cannot use your Bitcoin without your authorization. And as a regulated entity, we have to follow that by the book.
And that's where that tradition meets the future, and that's where
Exactly.
tradition has a lot of value because it's got
It's
the
a proven
processes.
concept.
Yeah, and
It's a proven
clear.
concept. And this is a different business for us, right? We don't use also they ask me, do you use my Bitcoin for something else? We don't use the Bitcoin for something else. Is your Bitcoin, it's stored there? Actually, I'm trying to find a solution to be able to, because that's parked Bitcoin that no one's using, right? So at the end of the day, it's not generating any extra income. So I am currently trying to find a solution where I can generate extra income for our clients and for the bank, but without putting at risk
Exactly.
the Bitcoin, right? The only reason I would do it, and I would put my Bitcoin there as well, I'll be the first user, is if I can guarantee 100% that it's
That's
safe.
gonna be fine.
That's gonna be
Exactly.
fine. But I am trying to find a solution like that. Because we can do it today with Ethereum, we can do it with other tokens, which you can stake them and you get some extra income.
Absolutely.
There's no clear solution for Bitcoin yet, then it's lending it to someone else, and I consider that unsafe, especially for highly volatile asset. The other question I get asked a lot is, can I be a foreigner and open an account in Panama? 100% yes. Actually, more than 60% of our clients are overseas clients. They don't even live in Panama.
Yeah.
Can I get a Bitcoin backed loan to remodel my house in Argentina? Yes. We actually have 2 clients
No way.
that are doing that.
Okay.
Can we do a Bitcoin backed loan to buy a property somewhere else?
As in Panama.
That's also possible. I mean, the beauty of the Bitcoin is I have the collateral, so the risk is much lower for us.
Talk to me about the fees.
All right.
Costs.
Okay, fees. That's something that we're changing every day, and I'm trying to bring them down, not up. I'm really focused on bringing those fees down, and in some places we've been able to do that. The mortgage fees and all that stuff is pretty much standard with the market. What Bitcoin is allowing us to do is to allow more people to invest, given that their capacity of taking a loan it's much higher, right? Because they're adding some more collateral. When it comes to on-ramp and off-ramp, it starts at 2%, but that goes down based on the volume. All right, we have clients with different percentages. But to be honest, over time that will come down. The entire industry is going to have to bring those prices down.
And that's also another reason for the community to get together and to grow.
Exactly.
Yes,
All right.
just to make it more common and make it easier for everybody.
The market's going to pressure us to come down. That's no doubt about it. And I'm starting to see it. Yeah. So I know very soon that I'm going to have to. And when it comes to Bitcoin-backed loans, the market is between 9 and 13%. 9.5, 13, depending on the size of the loan. But our standard is 10.15%, 50% loan to value.
And then if your Bitcoin grows, then you lower the mortgage.
Exactly.
And then it's different.
And we just launched a product. We launched it a few weeks ago.
Tell me about it.
Which is, we will lend you 100% of the property. Mm-hmm. And that famous 30% down payment that you have to give, you're gonna give it in Bitcoin. All right, so we take that Bitcoin into collateral and we finance 100% of the property. And let's take the scenario of a $300,000 property.
Yes, the classic visa for everybody.
Right? You would pay around $500 more a month, but if Bitcoin were to go up to $150,000, $200,000, you would pay for 100% of your property in 2 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
Versus 3 years.
Yeah.
Right. So there is that possibility that you can have a property that you own 100%, zero debt, and you paid it 100% with Bitcoin.
And the qualification process being easier, faster.
It's easier, it's faster. Because at the end, one of the biggest problems that you see today with traditional mortgage is that the persons cannot handle the debt, or they cannot justify something, or they want to buy and they cannot pay the monthly fees. That with Bitcoin can be done a lot easier, right? It's none of the products that we have are baked in that they have to be that way, right? We can sit down with our client, with your client, or with any client, and find the best solution for that person. Right, but digital assets gives us that flexibility, right? Where I can co-create with the client and give them the best offer I can, and the best scenario for their situation.
That's amazing. So I feel a next episode coming. But thank you so much, Gabriel. This has been such a pleasure here from Towerbank. And if you guys have any questions, right below. If you like to contact, how do they contact? What link should I put down? Like Ikigi's link?
Yeah, you go to ikigi.com. I have a great team here that they're more than willing to help you out and explain, and they'll sit down with anybody and explain to them how this works. And actually, I just had a client, he has a property, he's not doing anything with it, he wants to buy Bitcoin. He's like, can I give you my property as guaranteed?
So on the reverse.
So I could buy Bitcoin, and we're doing that for that person right now.
Oh my God! All right.
I even had a person come the other day saying that my wife wants her to buy her an apartment, but I don't have the cash right now, and I don't want to sell my Bitcoin. Well, and we're building him a product so he can stay married.
Happy wife, happy life, new property, and
keep his Bitcoin. He doesn't have.
Now you know. Closing statements. Thank you so much, and let me know what you think if you have any questions. And Gabriel Campa, thank you.
No, thank you. Pleasure.